Welcome to episode 3 of our game ranking. Join Enviroboy, CohesiveKey, and NewsManBoyer. Hot takes, bad jokes, and great games.
What's up, all my friends, all my super amazing, awesome friends out there, all like 12 of you that are my friends and watch these. Hi, I'm Enviroboy. I'm here with my friends again. My friends Scott and Cody. We're here continuing our random discussions about games we like and all that kind of stuff. So buckle up. We're going. Say hi, guys. Say hi to the beautiful friends at home.
Our fathers bear witness.
Dang it, Dutch.
I
don't know.
Boy.
That's all I got today.
It's okay. I didn't even come with a quote this time. It was a one-hit wonder. It was beautiful last time, and then I ruined it this time.
It was beautiful. Mine was completely on the fly. I realized I didn't have a quote ready.
See, this is why literally everyone in the world is better at any of this type of stuff than me, because literally everyone is better at thinking on the fly than me.
Barely. Mine was 3 words.
Are you like Ron Burgundy, where you have to have the teleprompter, otherwise you're useless?
No, we ad-lib a lot more than what happens in that. However, it helps. If there is a weird thing in there, there's occasionally a time where we'll read it, so we got to be careful.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Damn it, who typed a question mark into the teleprompter?
Or you think, I like the one from Bruce Almighty. I like a do da cha-cha.
I like a do da cha-cha.
My tiny nipples went to France.
I gotta watch those movies again. I miss old school, like late 90s, early 2000s, like college comedy hour movies. They're so good. Like Van Wilder, Anchorman, Semi-Pro, all those good ones.
The Lost Era.
It's a beautiful time to be alive. You could use some humor like that these days, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
Anyways, what game are we talking about? What game are we starting off with? We're continuing the tier list. We've got our tiers. Anyone who isn't aware of what we're doing, we're doing a tier list. There's 2 other episodes. You should watch those first. All right. Anyway.
All right, I've got the couple of names drawn out. The first title.
I like a do da cha-cha.
The first title of the night is Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, nice.
Did I put this one in?
Probably.
You sure as hell did.
I was gonna say, I feel like all of us would have at least thought about putting this one in.
Think about, I'm sure you all have, but like back when open world games were not really a thing. And this was kind of like, in my head, one of the first ones that took a real good stab at it.
Yeah.
Even though it's not all that open world when you think about it, you're going to one objective and you have to find it in your own way, holding your sword up in the sky to follow a light. But
yeah, it's more like a converging paths way as opposed to like a fully open world per se. But
yeah, for a PlayStation 2 game, those graphics just knocked everyone's socks off.
Yeah,
and it was that mixed with the soundtrack. And I think that may have been a very primary reason why I dropped that in there.
That's fair.
Because the music is incredible.
No, the music is breathtaking. When I was in college, we actually played The Opened Way in orchestra.
Yeah. I sat in that audience when they played that in orchestra, and that was like chilling, goosebumps.
Yeah.
I mean, not only because it's in the game and you remember the moments of like what's happening, but it's just deep music. And it's like always comes in waves when you're fighting the thing on the ground, the giant colossus that we have never seen an enemy that large in a video game before.
Yeah.
And then when you get on it, when you get close to victory, the music shifts every time.
Well, and
it's just dynamic.
Like it plays so nicely too. With I think for me, what makes this game such a standout, it's not a game I would consider one of my like biggest top favorites, but it is such an interesting game, and I'll always think about it as being deserving of being on these lists. Because the thing for me is the atmosphere is just absolutely something incredible. The loneliness of it, going through and then having to deal with these things, like it is such an inspiring atmosphere to me that it's largely what I've designed my homebrew D&D world after. is this idea that like we have like some small pockets of civilization that then survive in this world just full of dangers, and if you go out, like you are utterly alone, and like you have to survive and make your way and deal with these challenges that will try and kill you. And it's such an interesting atmosphere and such a unique one. You really don't see a game that makes you that lonely throughout it.
And the first time you play it too, like it's kind of a puzzle to fight the thing. Everything is a boss fight.
Yeah.
But each thing has its own, tactic to just open up the weak spot. It's not as simple as hacking and slashing, because literally you hear about a game where your only weapons are a bow and a sword, and you're like, is that all it is?
Yeah.
Dynasty Warriors, here we come. But like in this, which is a great game too, in its own right. But then you throw this into that equation.
Yeah.
You get that vast emptiness. You feel tiny as it is on your little horse.
Yeah.
Which was beautifully animated for the first time. We have only been kind of used to Epona and things like that in other games.
Yeah, right.
But like you get sent out into these valleys, these mountains, these crevices, and then every single time you see the creature, maybe save for the one that's kind of small, you see it and it's just like, holy smokes, I am fighting a mountain.
Good Lord. Like, especially when it's the first one, you're like, this is the first boss. Like, this is what I have to do. And it feels so insurmountable.
Yeah. And each one's like, one flies, one comes out of the ground, one's the sand thing. Yeah. It's just pretty wild that they were able to do all of that with such a poetic story.
Yeah.
Like the story in the background doesn't scream what it is, but there's a beauty to it. There's a darkness to it.
Yeah.
That you only kind of start to realize as you go on your own without massive dialogue dumps.
Yeah.
It's a great, a classic tale about like throwing away what makes you human, throwing away what makes you good in pursuit of something you love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Yeah. It's like, it's one of those, like the lengths will go type of thing.
It's another game also where I feel like the art direction really, outpaces the actual graphical fidelity at the time. Because what year was this, Cody? Like 2004, 2003?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm gonna say the original would have been like early 2000s, I would guess.
It's an old game.
Yeah,
it's an old game, but it's not like textured and beautiful when you look at it in detail, but it's breathtaking when you just take a step back and look at it.
Yeah,
because
2005
over
okay.
Fidelity.
2005, October 18th, 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels
and then the remake came out like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
At least,
that was in the mid 2010s, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. This is a good game. What category are we putting this one in?
It's a tough one to categorize.
Right.
It does absolutely still hold up today. Absolutely.
Yeah. I would agree.
Game changer, I could see it there too.
Yeah, just because of how different the story was. Like we were talking about, like the setting and the atmosphere.
There was, I can't remember the name of the Final Fantasy creator off the top. I remember it, I could see it in my head, but knowing how tired I am, I'll butcher it, so I won't say it. But I do remember he commented and said, I cannot make music like this.
Yeah.
And that's wild if you think about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I would say, like, we could do Game Changer, although the only hesitation I have on that is I can't think of many games that actually followed suit for that one. It stands out and is on its own. I mean, Death Stranding kind of tried a little bit, but...
Well, I don't know if you guys are very familiar with Dragon's Dogma. It kind of did the same thing where, like, you battle large enemies, not on the same scale as the Colossi were, but you battle large enemies and you climb around on them in order to, like, get stabs in on, like, weak points. So... But that's like the only game I know of where, that kind of uses the same technique.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this one should go in Everyone Must Play.
That's almost where I'm leaning, just because it's such a unique experience. I feel like everyone should experience it to some degree.
It's beautiful.
You go into it with the right mindset. Yeah, you go into it with the right mindset. It kind of changes how you look at games.
Yeah. I'm willing to put it in Everyone Must Play because, I mean, it's our personal opinion, too, so anyone can disagree and they can just stuff it because we have microphones and they don't. So there we go. Everyone must play it. Take that, audience. If you haven't played it, you must. Get on it.
It's good. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah,
it might not be the most fast-paced. It might not be the most fast-paced thing you've ever played, but
It's worth
when
it.
you get into the actual boss fights, I challenge you to not have your breath taken away.
Yeah, seriously. I'm with you. All right, what's our next game? What are we doing?
Well, on the note of getting your breath taken away, the new one is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Oh, geez. So, and like here, I'm gonna say now that now that I'm thinking about that one, I say no games have really done that. They kind of did that a little bit in the subsequent in the most recent Zelda games. It's not the world isn't quite as lonely, but they actually did kind of like evoke a lot of that same feel,
though, isn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Now that I think about it, it's like, well, geez, I have to I have to like eat an entire crow here as soon as I say that.
For a reason, though, and that was with that one. Now you got me all pumped up. That Coca-Cola's doing something for me. But like that one proved that you can have these massive amounts of space, and it's not just going to be dead space.
Yeah,
it's not going to be nothing.
Yeah, like I feel like Breath of the Wild almost actually took the sort of scale and the loneliness of Shadow of the Colossus, but then found a way to not make it. Because if there's one gripe I have about Shadow of the Colossus, it's like it kind of, and I don't even know if I want to call it a gripe, but the long periods where you're just kind of like riding to your objective, it's good and it adds to the atmosphere. So they make it work. But in
Breath Shadow of the Wild, Colossus, it's almost like art.
Yeah, like it's meant to be that. Like it's meant to be a long, pensive situation. So I don't want to call it a flaw, but Breath of the Wild kind of took that and said, we can make it so that if all you're doing is focusing on your objective, you miss all the stuff and it has that same feeling. But if you take a second to, smell the roses, you can see a whole lot of stuff going on. And then like I know for me, I would put Breath of the Wild on there, but I would say Tears of the Kingdom. Personally, I like Tears of the Kingdom at least as much. It kind of found ways to build upon Breath of the Wild, though I don't know if I would even really say one is stronger than the other, personally.
Because I've been thinking about that a lot, too, and there's been that argument that Tears of the Kingdom is kind of like DLC.
Yeah.
To Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I also heard it kind of from the other angle that Breath of the Wild was almost like the beta test for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. And
Breath of the Wild is the Fallout 3 to Tears of the Kingdom's New Vegas.
Yeah. The Kingdom was the one where they're
the same engine. It's like the same exact gameplay mechanisms.
Yeah, but different, except for the building thing was totally different. It scratched that really weird random Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts itch.
Yeah.
I'm not it does feel like they were trying to create a DLC with Tears of the Kingdom and then just decided, let's make it.
They're just like, we've got too much. This is more than a DLC.
What I do like, too, that Underworld and Overworld, I mean, you get like 3 areas this time instead of one big expanse, and you still get that expanse. So it plays off of...
the Wild was.
Yeah, it absolutely plays off of that Link to the Past
feel,
where there's a dark world. And I know the Stranger Things quotes come up with the Upside Down. It's not quite that similar, but you have that whole new expanse to explore.
Yeah, it's got like those echoes of it. See, the thing for me with Breath of the Wild, it's hard for me to talk about it in an unbiased way because Breath of the Wild came out while I was in the middle of grad school, when I was in the middle of vet school. And that was a period in my life where I was keeping up with classes and everything like that, but I was largely depressed, overworked, and just not very happy with life at the time. And then Breath of the Wild came out, and I was originally going to say like, no, I can't do this. I don't have time for this. But after hearing how much everyone loved it, I was finally like, okay, I'm going to get this, and we'll just like when I have time in between studying and classes and exams and stuff, I'll play that. Somehow, despite being in the middle of grad school and all of that, and I managed to make it not like damage my grades or anything like that, but somehow over the course of doing that, like over the course of one semester, I managed to pump in a good like 100 to 200 hours into that game. I forget exactly how many, but like that over the course of just like 4 months, like while doing grad school, I pumped like that is how much I love that game because it was such an immersive world that it took me out of that sort of depressed, overworked state, and it was my escape. And so it's hard for me to do that because for me personally, I would almost put it into like personal favorite just because it saved me from so many other like headaches in my life.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like game changer because literally when the headline came out for this, it was the Switch's flagship game.
Yeah.
It was the big one that came out with it. And it changed Zelda, which was the game where we're like, how can you change something that's already perfect? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And now they're like, we can't make a Zelda game again without looking at the mechanics of this one.
Yeah.
And that was and the one line from an interview I read in a magazine that was like, Breath of the Wild, what we're trying to do here, what is nature? Nature is alive. So they wanted to make this giant expansive world alive everywhere.
Yeah.
And they really did that.
Yeah. Yeah, they pulled it off.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I think Game Changer is fair for it. Like I say, the only hesitation I have of saying it myself is because I have such personal memories with it. Like, I can't be objective with it.
So nostalgia bait.
Yeah, honestly, like in 10 years, yeah.
That's one thing. Like right now, if you were trying to argue nostalgia bait, I know you're kidding, but like that would be hard because that's the one argument that a lot of critics have said. It's like it definitely destroys the nostalgia of old Zelda. Destroys
so
it's not the right word.
Yeah.
But you know
it reframes Zelda so completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Game Changer
might be in Tears of the Kingdom, the nostalgia part.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we'll dump that one in Game Changer.
Find in the underworld.
I would argue that one could also be Everyone Must Play, but Game Changer feels more apt for it.
I will not say Everyone Must Play. I really like Breath of the Wild, but I feel like the combat and like the gameplay gets very stale after a while.
I can see that. Yeah, like if someone who's not into the grind for finding things, I can see it being tedious for some people.
There's too much to explore. I don't like how brittle the weapons were, but that's just my personal opinion.
That's fair.
I think that's where Tears of the Kingdom improved it. Because like you tell that, you say that in front of a deep fan of that, and they'd be like, then you're just not playing it right. I
could be easily crucified for the comment.
Oh yeah. Oh, the number of things I say that, like, if I had a wide audience, could get me canceled. Like, when it comes to game opinions, like, oh man, it's if you have an opinion, it's cancelable. It's like, I like this game, canceled. I hate that same game, canceled.
You remember what we said about Fallout 3 versus New Vegas? Like, yeah, New Vegas improved on everything, but I still like Fallout 3.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I always think of that one. What is it? The Top Gear meme, where like they're saying that it's like, this is brilliant, but I like this.
I like this. Yeah, for me, with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it's the opposite. I think that Tears of the Kingdom just built on everything good that Breath of the Wild did, made it even better, and it's a better game.
I don't disagree with that. I almost feel like they're, just because I played them at such separate times in my life, that I have such different attachments to them, that I can almost view them as separate games. But like, I guess I would agree with you. Like if I go back and play Breath of the Wild, it does feel like it's almost a slightly lacking experience for me compared to Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, that's basically how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Game Changer is fine with me. I would not vote for Everyone Must Play.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm cool with that.
Next game.
I just remember that headline on the magazine where it's like Breath of the Wild, Game Changer. It was literally in the magazine that way. And I think it still held up.
That's funny.
Next game is Pokemon Gold.
Pokemon Gold. Do we want to combine this one with Soul Silver?
Because I mean, we're talking about the OG and then the remake.
Yeah, and for me, like, I feel like I put, I can't remember if I put just like Standard Gold or like the Soul Silver Heart Gold. I can't remember, but either one of those ones are good for me because Pokemon is my childhood. It like when I can find them, I still collect cards, and it's I love them. I love it, and so these games are so special for me. We got to
settle the debate on this right now.
I think I threw in Soul Silver. I love Silver. I love Lugia.
I definitely nominated Pokemon Gold. I was going to say this. We got to make the tiebreaker. Ho-Oh or Lugia?
Lugia.
Lugia
no hesitation. No hesitation. Lugia.
For me, it's Ho-Oh.
But, Lugia would beat Ho-Oh in a battle. Water, fire.
Yeah, I mean, that's, of course, it's, that's the natural advantage. I'm biased. When the Pokemon games came out, I was gifted Pokemon Gold, so naturally that's the one I prefer.
That's fair. Yeah, silver was the one between the two that I had. I always had silver, and then like I was like for the generation beforehand, I was red. So I would have gone with Charizard anyway. He's literally a dragon. Like, of course I'm choosing that, but. Like I was red, and then for me it was silver, and then for me it was a ruby instead of sapphire. Like, I feel like everyone's got the one that they pick for it, and I don't know if that says something. You could probably do some sort of like personality type test based on that.
Silver was my odd one out because I did red, silver, then I stuck everything red side too, but silver was gifted to me without my
But so now we have to discuss the actual merits of the game.
Yeah, right. So, the thing with these games, the reason that I will always put, as much as I am, like an OG Generation 1 Pokemon fan, like those are my favorite Pokemon, always have been, always will be. I've got my collection of all the original cards and everything. Like, as much as I love that, Gold and Silver were easily my favorite games of all time when it comes to the Pokemon games, because you beat you beat the Johto leagues, and then suddenly you get to replay Red and Blue.
2 games in 1.
It is the most incredible thing that's ever happened, and they themselves, even the Pokemon Company, has never managed to reclaim that glory.
Right.
Not once. It doesn't matter how good their technology goes. They've never done it again.
Well, then there's the climactic fight with Red at the end. Like, it was nostalgia that punched you really, really hard in the face.
Right in the crotch, man. Like, I'm sitting there like crying tears of joy as I'm seeing all this stuff happening, and yet also tears of pain as I beat my old former glory self in spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And then like I'll going into the Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I would say one of the best like sort of remake upgrade things that has ever happened within a game. Like they took the spirit of how great Gold and Silver was, and then they managed to do that again by making it such a good, like, it's honestly my favorite DS game that has ever existed is Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
So the other great thing that it introduced was the mechanisms of making eggs, which was great for like getting egg moves,
friendship level,
breeding better qualities.
It was kind of one of the first games that really got into the like people doing the hardcore like stat mining, trying to get like the best iteration of it. Like it really brought that to life in Pokemon.
And shiny. It introduced the concept of shinies.
Oh, I remember the first shiny I ever found, it was a Rattata. I was like, what is happening when the little sparkle thing happened? Oh man, it was nuts.
Mine was, I killed it. I destroyed it. It was during the stupid bug contest in the park. North of Goldenrod, a Butterfree showed up that was shiny, and I just obliterated it because I didn't know what it was. It was like, why?
Die, Satan, demon bug! What are you?
To this day, no one believes me, but I didn't get it because it was Game Boy Color.
Yeah,
the old games came out in black and white. We would never have known, so they already game changed that.
All right.
And I burned that Butterfree straight to the depths of that. I didn't know. I thought my game was diseased.
That's hilarious and heartbreaking.
It was.
The Gold and Silver games were they were so great. I mean, the Red and Blue are the classics. You can include Yellow there as well.
I'll mention this because Gold and Silver. I'll talk on the impact, the social impact, because I remember Red and Blue on the playground. We had the cards, everything was going, but when it started with the Peekaboo nonsense, people are like, oh, there's a Peekaboo, you can unlock him, and there was the leaked image of Meryl. No one knew what it was yet.
Oh,
and then I just remember that one rich kid or someone would get the game first.
My dad works for Nintendo.
Something wild. And everyone got talking, what are the new ones? Lettybo, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
And it blew our minds that they could already expand something that was a really good RPG.
I remember similarly, in our playground, there would be a dome of children all surrounding and leaning over the one kid that's sitting there playing, and he would yell at the kids coming over top to move to the side so there'd still be enough light that he could see the screen. Like,
Josh got that new game. He got that new game, man. Let's go watch him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This was before backlit LCD screens.
Yeah. Oh man, it was insane.
My hockey team got in trouble when we played hockey. We got in trouble because one kid on the team had it, and he was playing in the locker room, and we wouldn't leave the stupid locker room because we were watching him play it. And so the coach was like, "Where are you guys?" Like, it was a thing. It was wild.
That's hilarious. So the hard part is ranking these ones. I don't know if we can say game changer, because if any of them would do that, it'd be Red and Blue, because then they basically just made the same game for like 2 decades.
Personally, if you're putting a Pokemon game out there, and this is the only one on the list, I might throw dice at everyone must play it.
Yeah,
because it's a Pokemon. It's the only one on the list.
I've played a lot of Pokemon games. I've pretty much played almost every generation. And Cody, I think you've got me beat on how many generations you've played, but I've played most of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've been regular. I've played them all.
I think that Gold is the best, and that's not.
Yeah, I guess I would agree with that. And actually, the reason I like it and everyone must play too is because like nowadays, and I don't think this is unfounded. It may be a little overblown, but not unfounded. The Pokemon games get a lot of criticism because there is a lot of samey. We're pumping stuff out. They feel a little phoned in from time to time, depending on which generation you're talking about. But if you want to make someone understand why those of us who keep buying the games, no matter what, like why we do it, playing Gold or Silver is a really great way to get them to understand, like, this is what we grew up on. This is how great it was for us. And so it's like, maybe it can help people understand why it is we just keep absolutely, being sycophants for the Pokemon company.
Now, the last generation that I played was Pokemon Sun.
Okay.
And, I did not love it, to be honest with you.
I liked Sun,
I feel like that was
I'll tell you
that was
what,
the last one I give credit to. The last one, because it was cool. It was different.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you why. It's because there was no challenge.
Yeah, that's fair.
You went through like the tall grass areas briefly. You did the trainer battles.
Yeah.
There was no challenge to it. You could just roll through everything. Whereas,
I don't know about you guys, but I had a problem with the Totem Raticate. It kicked my butt. I was like, what is this?
Well, we've all got an Achilles heel in those games, like all of us.
And yours is Rattata. But anyway, there's just not much of a challenge.
That's fair.
I felt like I rolled over everything. I didn't have to train up my team.
They definitely made them very like all ages friendly. Like they kind of took away.
That's gonna be my
That's when I realized like this is the the golden age of Pokemon is over.
It's almost too like that's like for me I remember the time when I was like sitting there. It was like I was homesick from school one day and I just turned on the TV and like Nick Jr. was on and like Blue's Clues was on and I was like old enough that I was like, oh, I haven't watched the show in a while, but I remember this. And I was sitting there watching it, getting annoyed with how incapable the kids were of finding the clues that were yelling at the TV. And that's when I was like, oh, I'm too old for this now. It's almost the same thing with the Pokemon games nowadays, where it's like you're playing and there's no challenge. It's like, oh, I'm not the target audience anymore.
No, but Gold was a challenge.
Yeah,
like,
it's true. It was.
If you didn't optimize your team, you were not going to beat the Elite Four.
Or at the very least, do what I did and just absolutely sat there for hours, like like some kid with like OCD, just absolutely obsessively grinding until it was like, yeah, I'm level 50 going into the second gym.
That's the word.
Yeah,
that's the word, grinding.
Yeah.
That was like a requirement for the old ones.
Yeah.
Now, not at all, because like you get experience for looking at a Pokemon.
You didn't have to grind. You didn't have to grind like what Scott was just describing.
Yeah, no, you definitely didn't have to do it to that level, but it did require a certain amount of like dedication to actually train your team. And that was for me. That was kind of the spirit of the games. Like that's the whole point of like Ash's journey in the cartoons and stuff. Is like he had to train, he had to learn, and he had to get better. And so that's what I always imagined. Like going out in the grass, it was like it's like it's almost and like as someone who nowadays trains for marathons and trains kickboxing and goes and like spends weeks and weeks and weeks in training camps for one competition, like it's part of my personality and we can kind of see the origins of it. But for me it was always like, the gym battle, like that's the show and I am spending weeks or months training for this. We got to train the team up to get to the show is the whole point of it. And so like I was all in for the grinding, but Not everyone would be up for that.
That's the only way. I mean, yeah. I mean, like now it's like I've been still doing Scarlet. I play it. It's interesting, and like the catching is fun.
Yeah,
I like the concept of seeing things in the wild. That's kind of
the games all have enough redeeming quality that I still play them all and enjoy them.
But again, like experience share is now built in.
Yeah,
you catch a thing. And suddenly your entire team, regardless if they saw the light of day, is leveling up.
Yeah.
And you're like, why?
Yeah. And it's like the adult in me that only has so many hours to game is kind of like, oh, that's nice. But then the kid in me that remembers the grinding is kind of like, oh, but that kind of takes away some of the point.
Yeah, I mean, like, you worked to get your Charizard to where he was. You were
that's
there
how you built the bonds with your Pokemon and everything. Like, even though it's just like a little digital pixelated image that went like every time you threw it out, like, you know, it's like I was attached to them and I got sad when they died.
That's why I have to do it Nuzlocke style.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do nowadays. Nuzlocke or bust, baby. Like, full blown. They die, they're gone. The only thing that I do differently is rather than releasing them and saying they're dead, I say that they received like a career-ending injury, and then I put them in the box and say that they went to retirement. They're retiring now.
Oh, I just marked that this is Lavender Town Tower, man. They're dead. They're gone.
I can't do it. I can't bring in my heart. It hurts too much. I can't do it.
That's why I do it. I need that pain. I need to feel like I've lost him.
You monster. Yeah,
You're an animal.
So for Pokemon Gold, and Silver, you know, the same thing essentially. If you're gonna play a Pokemon game, it's got to be this. This was peak Pokemon
because it refined Red and Blue well enough to make it a much smoother thing, but it still stayed true to it and didn't and like improved upon it. So yeah,
I don't think it's nostalgia talking. I really think that these are superior games.
Yeah, all the Pokemon games easily.
And 16 badges? I mean, come on.
Seriously, there's so much gameplay there. Because, like, that's back in the days when games, like, if they reach 10 hours, you're doing great. That game, like, Gold and Silver netted me as a kid, like, 2 years of gameplay sitting there with my little Game Boy.
Somehow they managed to cram that thing onto the equivalent of a damn floppy disk.
I know, right?
Well, anyway.
And if you do not grind, Red will destroy you. That is a really hard fight.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
We should get to the next game.
It's true. We're going to be here for a month.
Next title is Borderlands.
Borderlands. Oh, man, I certainly put this one on. I don't know if anyone else did.
Borderlands 1.
Yeah.
I definitely like it. I thought about putting on it, but gosh, I mean, Borderlands 3 has Coheed and Cambria references, which is wild.
It's true. Borderlands 1, though, for me, like, the reason I put that one there is because I think Borderlands 2 does a pretty good job of keeping up with it, and Borderlands 3, I'm not as critical as other people are of it, but it does have moments of being a little like it's trying too hard to be Borderlands. But Borderlands in general for me is it's kind of a standout game when it comes to just like, you know, ruckus, rowdy shooters. Because it does a good job of, especially the first one, having good writing involved in it. The gun mechanics where guns are random other than a few legendary guns, super fun. Like, it's one of the first games I sat there and did, you know, the borderline JRPG thing of like stat mining and grinding and trying to figure out exactly what the best one is, you know, doing the math on like, okay, well, it does this much damage per bullet, but it's got this many bullets per second, and it's got this much, like, you know, the clips are this big. And so I was obsessed with it, and like I had runs of each character, and it came out in college when we were sitting there, like, and so me and my friends, we would set up, and that was still kind of in the era when you would do, like, you didn't have to do it as a LAN party, you could do it online, but we would all sit there, like, one of us would drag our TVs into the other one's in the other one's dorm room, and so we'd be sitting there like 5 of us with TVs crammed around doing multiplayer. Good.
Hell, I remember that. So
good. And so Borderlands I just put up there because it's a really standout, unique experience because the art direction is something very unique and special to the time. The writing really stood out compared to the time, because at the time we had a lot of, you know, that was around the same time of like, you know, the world of like Halo 3 and stuff like that, where it's like Halo 3, Gears of War, those were all dominating. So there's all that sort of like same military grittiness to shooters. And then this game comes out and everything is just a goof and a gaff while you're committing just like horrible violence. So
yeah, it's unique. I'll give you my I have a very skewed opinion about about Borderlands, and it's not Borderlands' fault. I didn't play it for what it was. I went into Borderlands expecting like a open world shooter.
Okay.
With, I was kind of hoping for an interesting story. I was not playing it for what it was. I was like obsessed with getting to the alien vault.
Okay.
Played and played and played to get to the alien vault. And guess what? You get to the vault at the end, but it shuts for another whatever.
The thing that's hilarious to me about hearing that immediately is in a way you almost played it in the best way possible, because you played it as the Vault Hunters. You were the Vault Hunters. Yeah, you exactly. Wanted to get to the vault. Like you were the Vault Hunters, and that is I feel for you, because it is a bit of a letdown if that's what you're after. But also, you were the characters.
I was incredibly disappointed. But you know what? The point was supposed to be the journey was the friends.
The real treasure was the guns we met along the way. Yeah, the guns we found, the guns we shot along the way.
The people we mutilated along the way.
Yeah. Anyway, and for me, like I was so just engaged in the gameplay and playing with my friends and stuff. When we got to the alien vault, like I didn't barely even register that was the final boss. I was just kind of like, all right, this is where we're going next, because there was so much of it that we were just like, oh, let's go to this place and just like have an absolute gore fest of killing everyone. And
you played it the right way.
Yeah,
you played it correctly, the way it was intended. I didn't, and as a consequence, it always left a sour taste in my mouth.
That's fair. Like if that's what you were hoping for, that would definitely be a letdown.
Borderlands to me has got to be still a game changer, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But Cody,
I would say so, in the form of a loot game, because I mean, like I look at it as a loot game.
Yeah.
I'm a loot game guy. I like loot games. Loot is
they're
good.
So loot satisfying. They're so fun.
And I mean, that's the one part of Borderlands 3 that was really good. Was they did really good. I thought they improved the weapon system even. Like you had so many weapons. That had
I'll agree with that.
They bombed on the bosses after one. You said it. They just didn't really. They're not memorable to me. They're not. They're not intimidating.
They all felt like they were trying too hard to be Borderlands bosses. Whereas Borderlands, like the first Borderlands, the bosses were just like a bunch of weird, zany, Flanderized characters in a hilarious way. And then after that, they were trying to be like, we gotta up the ante and make them funnier and zanier. Although I will say, what's his face in Borderlands 2 had some great moments of being a great villain.
Gentleman, what's his face?
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name right now, which doesn't speak well to his memorability. But I just I remember the Easter egg where you can find it, and it's him, Handsome Jack. That's his name. And like
that's the one. Handsome Jack.
I know, right? And it's like I just remember like they did do a pretty good job with him, just in the sense that there are so many goofs and gaffes that kind of humanize him and make him seem like as much of a dunce as a supervillain. Like I just remember there's this one Easter egg that you can find where suddenly you hear his voice doing the "it's a double rainbow," like doing that whole meme there. And like
Wheatley and Portal 2 effect.
Yeah, it was so weird and wacky and out there, and it's so good. But that was 2. But yeah, one is definitely like the superior. So I would be on board with Game Changer because of how different it is. But the flip side of it is, I would also be willing to just put it in either personal favorite, right? But although it sounds like we agree that it's a bit more up there than that. But we could also put it in still holds up today just because it's stylized. Yeah. So even with old graphics, it looks good.
And I think they just announced 4, or like the fact that they're working on 4. So hold up today would be accurate.
Yeah.
It looks as intended. I'm not a fan of cell shaded stuff, but it looks good for what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I know that I've got a sniper and I got a minigun in it. Like the minigun says "Man Your Own Jackhammer," which was thrilling, and the sniper was what was it? "Bye Bye Beautiful." Like literally took lyrics right out of Coheed and Cambria. So I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Coheed and Cambria is a progressive rock band.
That's
Cody
true. They're big enough that a lot of people know them, but they're not. They are kind of a niche group.
But like it was in the weapon description, like the unique that you had to find legendary weapons, and it would say it, like the "Man Your Own Jackhammer," and there was one that was on Burning Star 4, which was really cool too. Like there's no other way that reference obviously Coheed reference.
Right.
We're getting off subject on Coheed now.
Oh yeah.
So we're putting this one in still holds up today or Game Changer?
I guess I would vote still holds up today, but I'm open to other votes.
I'm open to still holds up today as well.
I'm down with that.
Okay, we'll put that one there.
I might have to bug soon.
I was gonna say, I know you're on a time schedule, so let's go ahead and do one more, and then we can do one more of these to finish off the list.
All right.
Blame me.
Next up is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh God. Okay, never mind. We're gonna be here for like 5 hours. Sorry, Cody. You're gonna have to cancel your plans because me and Scott certainly will not shut up about this game.
Yeah. I think I nominated this one. Scott, you nominated.
Oh yeah, I would have absolutely nominated it. Like if I didn't nominate it, it's only that I took it off because I saw you nominated it, and I was like, sweet, I can get another one.
Before we go,
I had to physically stop myself from nominating Star Wars games because I just like them all.
That's fair.
Now. But if I had to nominate one Star Wars game, it's going to be this one every time.
I would agree.
Cody, have you played Knights of the Old Republic? I can't remember.
Of course.
Okay, I thought so, but just wanted to verify. All right, Knights of the Old Republic. So everybody knows that like the original Star Wars trilogy was kind of space opera. There was not a lot of lore involved with it. There wasn't a lot of world building. It was nebulous, just the original trilogy. It was grand concepts of heroism, romantic adventure.
It was like a King Arthur tale with laser swords,
killing bad guys and saving the universe.
Yeah.
Not a lot of world building or lore associated with it, and they started to get more into that after they did the expanded universe.
I was going to say, like, it was really the fans that kind of took that under their wing, and like, the Lucas estate or however you want to describe it, were kind of like, sweet, yeah, this is awesome. Like, you guys go nuts.
Heir to the Empire and such helped expand the universe quite a bit.
Yeah.
This is like one of the first times where I feel like we had a major entry into like the Old Republic, what happened before the actual Star Wars trilogy. An amazing.
My mind is you said you didn't like JRPGs, and I'm not saying this is one, but the mechanics are very similar.
I was going to say it has a lot of the spirit of JRPG elements to it.
If you're going to say that about JRPGs, then you have to call all the Baldur's Gate games JRPG. Neverwinter Nights.
No, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying it is JRPG, but like the level progression, the turn-based, all of the different points of combat. That's very.
Yeah, that's what I'm
similar.
saying. Yeah. Come on, JRPGs don't have a corner on that market. See, Western RPGs do it as well. This is a big genre called CRPGs or computer RPGs.
Agreed.
Anyway, you got me all hot and bothered now.
That's when Cody decided to play a game called Poke the Bear.
Really been hot. We haven't really tested you yet, Scott. And I had to try.
Testing me now. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, turn-based RPGs have a long legacy in the Western genre too. Trust me. It wasn't just Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy that did this. Lots of other Western RPGs.
Agree. Big time. I mean, like Pokemon. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
Scott will tell you that D&D was doing this long time before video games existed.
Oh, well, absolutely. Like in the 70s and 80s, for sure.
Well, anyway, getting back to it.
Probably even before that.
So besides just this being like an awesome expansion into the extended universe, it had one of the best Star Wars stories ever told.
I'd say it's the story that really carries this game more than anything. Not that like any part of the game is like terrible or anything, but it's the story that is what really like sets this apart as a game.
It's got one of the best twists, and it's a twist that you see in a lot of computer RPGs. I've noticed. If any of you have played the original Baldur's Gate, for example, the basic story is that you play this demigod who is the son of this evil god called Baal, which I'm sure you're familiar with Baal, being a D&D fan.
Oh yeah,
Scott.
Oh yeah.
Called a Baal spawn. Basically, an evil guy who becomes good despite his nature and redeems himself and saves the day. It's the same concept in Knights of the Old Republic, and they were developed by the same developer, BioWare. This is BioWare's probably best entry, in my opinion, including the Mass Effect trilogy.
I'm open to that. I have more fun going back and replaying Mass Effect, but I am definitely open to saying that this was the best one because this one just came out well before Mass Effect, so Mass Effect is just more modernized and easier to go back to.
I mean, it's old, it's blocky looking.
Yeah.
if you've ever played the original Dragon Age, the combat feels similar to that. It's kind of this weird mix of real time combat and turn based. It's a little odd.
Yeah.
But it's still fun, and there's no denying that the story is amazing.
Yeah.
The characters in it. This was also a game where I feel like it was one of the first times where they really delved into like building relationships with characters.
Yeah, it was kind of a unique thing. Maybe not like the first one to do it or particularly unique, but it helps it stand out that it had kind of like relationship statuses, good and evil choices that could impact the story and how it goes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was quite unique in that aspect.
Yeah.
The twist, I mean, I'm sure I'm not spoiling it for anybody.
If a game is more than 10 years old, it's fine to spoil it. Because the thing about it too, here's my take. Here's my hot take on spoilers. If it's a relatively new thing, like it's polite to let people enjoy, the surprise that comes with it. But the flip side of it is, if you're the kind of person that thinks a whole story is worthless if you know how it ends, then I don't want you to ever rewatch a movie or ever rewatch a show or ever replay a game, because you already know the ending, so it's worthless, right? It's like, no, the story that leads up to it is just as much fun as the twist or anything. So spoilers, there's a courtesy amount of time, but after a while it's like it's fine because you've had plenty of time to get it, and it doesn't mean the whole thing is ruined and it's not worth enjoying. Still, that's my hot take on spoilers.
The spoiler being that the Sith Lord that you've been hearing about for the longest time, it's actually you.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a crazy twist. I mean, my jaw.
Of course dropped. I know him. He's me.
Yeah. Yeah, of course I know him. He's me. Great reference. My jaw dropped when I got to that part. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is amazing.
Yeah.
It really made if you do the redemption arc in the game, it made it all the more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, most people do the redemption arc. It's not too fun to play as the bad guy.
I have never been able to play games as an evil character. If I want to see how it happens, I have to watch someone else's Let's Play. I cannot. I am way too much of a brown nose or goody two shoes to actually do evil things. Especially when the evil things include like, hey, look, like in Baldur's Gate, when it's like, oh, look, a little squirrel, you can talk to her, you can kick it. It's like, well, I'm not gonna kick the poor thing.
Yeah, Red Dead 2 comes out in my mind for that too, because like the bad ending is fine, but the good ending for that it was like weep fest. It was there's a beauty in good endings. BioShock, the good ending is just better. It's not an abrupt screech of the brake at the end of something that you've worked hard to get to the end of.
Yeah, I've certainly played as an evil guy in KOTOR, but I prefer to play as a good guy.
Yeah. So where do we rank this one? Here's what
I know where I want to put this one.
Here's where my contention is. If we're going to avoid the more like personalized ones, such as nostalgia bait or personal favorites, which are more based on just our personal memories, I would put it in everyone must play, because I feel like we talked about, many of the elements in this game already existed in a lot of other games, both before, during, and after. So like it combined them in unique ways, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a game changer, and still holds up today. I struggle with that one because the nature of how the turn-based, so like the semi-turn-based thing goes, it feels clunky and uncomfortable today. You have to almost want to go for the story to be able to put up with it. So I would put it in either everyone must play, or we have to bring it down to personal favorite, personally.
Well, you know what I'm going to vote for. This is everyone must play.
Yeah.
And you're right though. It doesn't still hold up. It's clunky. It's definitely weird looking.
I'm on the fence. That's a really good question, because even me, I love anything Star Wars. It's just fantastic. Yeah. But there are some people that are it's not exactly an acquired taste game, but it's definitely one that might not be for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to work. It's a long.
That's the hard part about it too, because the reason I put it in everyone must play is almost similar to why we put the Pokemon ones up there. It's because like nowadays there's such a conflicting series of legacies with Star Wars because of what happened when Disney acquired it, because of how attitudes towards the prequels were when they came out versus how we look back at them now. It's such a loaded fandom these days that I feel like KOTOR is a really good example of helping people understand why there are people as fanatical about Star Wars as there are, because there was a time when we had lore that was just so cool and so fun and so fascinating, and this game is such an interactive example of that. It's like, if you're not a reader, you can play this game and get the same feeling that those of us who just, like, for me, I spent so much time as a kid, go to the bookstore, straight to the sci-fi, and go to the entire 2 shelves that were just Star Wars Expanded Universe books, and find one I hadn't read and get that and love it. And it's like, this game is such a good, like I say, interactive example of that it can like really kind of tell people, like, this is what it was in its glory days. Like, don't judge it by today, judge it by what it once was.
That's a good point. This is an example of like when Star Wars was just amazing.
Yeah, like when it was like at its peak, at its heyday. It's like, it's Star Wars in its strongest form in a lot of ways.
I'm kind of an apologist about the Disney era. I don't think it's as bad as people.
I tend to agree with that. I think of the trilogies that they're the worst, showing of them.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, but like, there's still like, if we're gonna be okay with the Marvel universe pumping out like 5 slot movies every summer for the sake of a box office hit, then we got to give a little bit of leeway to Star Wars.
Mandalorian happened. I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
That's so true.
Mandalorian is good.
And Andor happened, which is
Andor happened. Andor's hardly even a Star Wars thing. It's just a very human story set in the Star Wars universe.
I'd even give Ahsoka. I'd even throw in Ahsoka, because those 3 basically. Well, this is a whole other topic, but if you get what's his face directing, we got someone. What's his name? Marvel guy. Help me.
John Favreau. Are you talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If you get him involved, someone that actually has a deep passion for lore and things like that, like, he has actually respected the story, and he will always be my favorite because he brought Boba back.
That's fair.
I have Boba Fett.
Yeah,
I'm a Boba Fett guy.
That's fair. Boba's awesome.
I tried to convince everyone in grade school that Boba Fett never died, and that no one believed me.
There were multiple books that confirmed that too, if those kids knew how to read.
But then they always argued that they're different because it's expanded universe. But like,
what
whatever.
Are they, Disney now? Get over themselves.
Yeah, you don't get to decide.
Anyway,
I decide what's canon.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but I gotta tap.
No, that's fair. I was looking at the time. I know we gotta respect your time, Cody. So we appreciate you making time for us, and we will finish these last handful of games. What we got, 7 left? We can finish these last 7. That's all the more opportunity for us to just talk for hours and hours about these games. Maybe we'll expand these ones into 5 more episodes. Who knows? But for now, I guess I'll do my little sign off here, so you can be going to the audience there, to everyone watching. Thank you so much for joining us. We love and appreciate every single one of you. Play games and to really take the time to look into them and analyze them and think about why you like them. That's such a great way to view games, and that's what we're doing here. So that's my recommendation, my parting words of advice. But we'll continue this on another episode, which is sweet. We get even more to record. I dig it. So but to all the fans out there, love you. Bye.
The audio was used from Enviroboy with his permission and originally aired on his YouTube channel. Join us again for the final episode. 3 friends, countless games, and 1 definitive list.